everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Season 3 Golden Realm playlist. In this video we're going to talk about curse resistance, and spoiler alert, if you have watched my videos in Season 1, in Season 2, or you have gone through those seasons, you're familiar with virus resistance. Well, virus resistance and curse resistance are basically the same thing. The way it works and the mechanics are the same. So if you understand those, then you're going to understand this. So first, let's go into our base. And in the seasonal building area, we know that there are a few additional buildings that are going to be around for Season 3. Two of those are relevant to our curse resistance conversation. First is the Curse Research Lab, and second are the Blessing Fountains. There are 4 Blessing Fountains with a possible 5th one should you have the weekly pass. Now the Blessing Fountains, you need to build those right away as soon as the season starts. Do not delay. If you delay, you will fall behind and it will be very hard to catch up, because the Blessing Fountains produce sacred water. Sacred water is required to level your Curse Research Lab, and of course the Curse Research Lab, which is just like the Virus Research Institute or your High Heat Furnace in Season 2, it will give you curse resistance, aka in Season 1 and Season 2, virus resistance. Here at level 17, I have a curse resistance of 3,800. It will increase by 200, I believe, from levels 1 to 15, and then so far beyond that, it starts to increase by 400. Maybe it goes up again, but I haven't made it that far. So you need to level the Curse Research Lab as quickly as possible. It's got to be your focus, because if you don't increase your curse resistance, you're not going to get very far with capturing land. Now there are 2 other aspects related to curse resistance that we need to talk about. Here in the Season 3 menu, I mentioned the weekly pass. Well, the weekly pass is similar to that in Season 1 and Season 2. It's $5. There is a daily freebie that everybody can collect, so do go in there and get that, even if you're free to play and you don't have this pass. But if you do pick up this pass, it is going to give you a curse resistance bonus. We can see up here it increases your curse resistance by 250. That is only good for as long as you have the weekly pass. So in 3 days here in my case, this expires. If I don't buy it again, I'm going to lose that bonus. Now back out on the main screen, in our status overview area, I have this curse resistance icon where I can see my total curse resistance. It's 4,050. Well, we know in my Curse Research Lab, I only have 3,800. So that is the 3,800 plus the 250 from the weekly pass. Now, another important aspect here, we'll have to talk about these Desert Protectors separately, but the Desert Protectors, they have different skills, and I need to wait until I unlock these again in order to do a more in-depth video on Desert Protectors. But when you have 500 of them, you will unlock the power of adaptation, and in this case, it's going to give you an additional 250 curse resistance when you use Desert Protectors. Now, when it comes to digging strongholds and things like that, or other rallies, you have the option to switch to Desert Protectors as long as you have enough of them. And if you have this skill, then you can get that curse resistance bonus. If you want to start a Desert Protector rally, then you need to get all the way over here to the 1,250 Desert Protectors in order to be able to start a entirely Desert Protector rally, which, by the way, is going to do a ton of damage, and we will hopefully see that in some upcoming videos. So Desert Protectors can give you yet another 250, but this is not something that you can use all the time, because you're going to run out of Desert Protectors very, very quickly. Just to recap, Desert Protectors are created or converted from your dead troops after you go through a battle. A certain percentage will die and be eligible for conversion. Over here you'll see a number increase. That is after your allies send a plane to your base, then you can convert them to Desert Protectors. So they're limited and not overly abundant. So those are 2 ways that you can increase your curse resistance. So we have zombies here in Season 3. They're called zombies in some interfaces, mummies in others. The interface is the same as what you know. You can search your level or select your level that you want. There's a first kill reward up until the max level and so on. There are the different faction types of tank, aircraft, and missiles. So this is a missile mummy, this is an aircraft mummy, this is a tank mummy. So if I were to, let's say, search for a level 15, that I see here is I see that it indicates the curse resistance required in order to have no damage reduction when you attack this particular mummy. If you tap the info panel icon, it will tell me I have adequate curse resistance in this case because it's green. We're all good. So this needs 2,900 curse resistance. I have 4,050. So if I attack this zombie, I'm going to have no problem whatsoever. There is no better situation than this. But let's go look at a higher level. So let's search for a level 30 and see what happens. So here's our level 30. Well, I can see this level 30 mummy requires 5,900 curse resistance in order to deal 100% of your damage. Because I have 4,050, I'm going to deal minus 64%. Tap the info panel icon and you're going to get a bit more detail here, which is super important. First off, my curse resistance is too low. I can't counter the curse. So my troops are going to have their damage reduced by 64%. Now you cannot just take 64% of whatever your power is and assume that that's the damage that you'll do and that power recommendation is how you can know you can win. It's not that straightforward because you see the enemy damage will be increased as well, and in this case by 425%. So it's a bit of mathematics behind here, and I don't know the formula, but if generally the percentage left over of your power is reasonably higher than the recommended power, you're okay, but it may not always work that way. And of course, faction debuffs and buffs will come into play as well. So tanks, you want to attack that with an aircraft squad if you can. Number 3 here, so build and upgrade your curse research lab, right? We talked about that. That's going to increase your curse resistance. The curse resistance, as you increase it though, it's only applied at time of deploying your squads. So if I ever sent a squad out to attack this level 30 and then I upgraded my curse research lab so I had more resistance, the lower level at time of deployment is what is going to apply. But number 5 here, this is a really big one that's going to become extremely important for digging strongholds. So when you join a rally, your curse resistance will match the leaders unless yours is higher. If you are attacking a digging stronghold and you have one person with very high resistance, you want them to start the rally. Everybody else will get the resistance and therefore will do more damage. Now, if we're talking a Doom Elite, right? Obviously we don't rally a regular zombie or mummy. If you're talking about a Doom Elite, you have to be the one to rally it to get the first kill. So if your resistance is lower than somebody else's, this doesn't really apply. But you can still try to kill it because that person could kill it even though your squad may die. So point 5 is very important with regard to curse resistance. Points 1 and 2 help you understand if you even have a chance. And the little indicator here in red is telling me that I have a cause for concern. So if I look at this mummy, can I beat it? I don't know. Let's give it a try. So this is aircraft. I'm going to attack with aircraft with a 42.49 million power squad. Let's see what happens. Do I have enough to overcome this mummy? I don't. Alright, so when we look at this, 64%, that reduction in damage, from my experience, is generally the reduction that is right on the borderline. So if you have minus 64, you may be able to do some damage, you may be able to kill it, but probably not. You generally need to go one more level in resistance in order to be able to have a guaranteed kill. Alright, so you saw I died there. Obviously not good. Let's search for one level down, 29. Here is minus 58%. Let's go ahead and attack this one. Now I should be able to kill this mummy. I did, and I was pretty low there in squad power after all said and done. Now let's go take a look at that battle report. We'll find it under regular in this case. So the Doom Legion is what it's currently being called here. So that first one, the level 30, this was the report from the defeat, right? And you can see it indicates your resistance, the required resistance, and the minus damage dealt. If we look at the victory, right, we see the same, we see the minus, but obviously we were able to conquer and beat this mummy with a minus 58. Your mileage will vary, but again, generally in my experience, minus 64% is the borderline for being able to successfully kill the enemy. Now, if we search for a Doom Elite, same thing applies. Let's look at a level 27. And we see the level 27 in my case is the minus 64%. Now, when you rally, you get buffs. You get a buff from usually your alliance tech, and it is possible that if somebody has higher resistance than you in your rally, they may kill it, you may die. So I was able to beat the level 27 Doom Elite even with the minus 64% because of the rally buff. And generally you can get a little extra power if you go and scout a base to get War Fever. So that's a good way to be able to push a little further if you're on the edge. But everything still applies. You tap the info panel, you're going to see the same details here. And it's always the same. When it's a minus 64, it's 425 and so on. So if we look for a level 28, I can see level 28 with my resistance, it requires 6,150. I'm going to do minus 70% damage, so we can see it is going to do 500% more damage. So Doom Elites apply the same way as the regular zombie mummies, but you can go higher generally because of the rally buffs, and you can have your fellow alliance members help you out if they have higher resistance than you, so you can get those first kill rewards and you can level your blessing fountains and then level your curse research lab to grow stronger quicker. Let's go take a look at a digging stronghold boss. So the digging strongholds are usually surrounded by some mummies that you have to kill. We've killed them here already. Let's look at this boss. So this is a level 20. This is a level 2 digging stronghold. It's a golden annihilator. Just like in the prior season, the stronghold bosses, they have different faction types. They're going to be tank type, missile type, aircraft type. It helps if you attack with the correct counter type. If you tap the info panel, you can infer what type this is. So we can see that this Golden Empire's most lethal annihilator, whose cannons could take down aircraft. All right, so that tells me that this is a missile-based boss. So if I attack it with aircraft, I'm going to have a little bit of a debuff. So technically, you want to attack this with tanks if you had strong enough tanks. You can see the curse resistance required here. In this case, I'm at minus 72%. Now, could we actually beat this? Maybe. Would we have to use a Desert Protector rally, which is accomplished by tapping this circular icon? Should I have that skill, it will convert it to a Desert Protector rally. We probably could do some damage to it, but this would be a slog and a bit difficult. So the same applies for the bosses at the digging strongholds as well as regular mummies and zombies. The difference here is you absolutely want to make sure that the person with the highest resistance in your alliance is the one that starts the rally against the digging stronghold boss. That way everybody else in that rally is going to get that same resistance level, and you have a better chance of killing this boss without killing yourself. So with the digging stronghold bosses, make sure you attack with the correct faction type if you can, and have your highest resistance member of the alliance start the rally. If you need protectors, use them, but you won't be able to do very many rallies with protectors because likely you have a finite number. Alright, so I hope this video has helped you understand curse resistance, the importance of the curse research lab, how the Desert Protectors can help give you a bonus, how the weekly pass will also give you a bonus, and generally the fact that you need to focus on increasing your curse resistance as the #1 priority as soon as you start Season 3. Smash the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know if you got any questions. I'm here to help you out. Take care.